MJ. Welcome back to the Mission Impossible show. Today, we have an author and a mindset guru who will help make you millions. His name is Daniel Gomez. He is the creator of the Millionaire Mind course and several other books. We'll unpack some of his personal stories today. But first, let's welcome Daniel Gomez. Welcome, Daniel.
Good morning, Coach MJ, man. I'm pumped up. I've saved my energy just for you. I even ate some extra Wheaties this morning because I want to add some value and really just pour into your audience and let them know that the makings of a millionaire mind is possible for your audience. And it's possible because you know why? There's no limitations in our lives, MJ. The only limitations we have are self-imposed. So thank you for having me, my dear friend. And it's going to be a great, great show. I'm excited. I love your energy.
Well, thank you. And the feeling is mutual. I have to say, all those things we probably learned maybe from some of the same people, going back to Norman Vincent Peale, and then in some of the stuff that Brian Tracy was doing, and Tony Robbins and NLP, and all of those things that helped us tap into the power of our subconscious and to the power of prayer.
Yes. Well, you know, one thing I realized is that we really do have the power to create the life that we want. We really do have the potential to be, do, and have anything we want. But most people, they don't know how. They don't know how. And when my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer 5 years ago, my life was turned upside down. We thought because we had our house paid off, we had money in the bank, and I had a secure job. You're put in a situation, Joe and MJ, where money can't save you. And you have to really go deep within yourself and you find out what you're made of during those times of adversity. I'll tell you what, my wife was only 44 years old. Never did I imagine she would have stage 3 breast cancer and I might lose her. So life has a way of giving you a gift wrapped up in a problem, my friend.
Well, it does. And that must have been devastating. Although you're making light of it now in this show, that had to have been incredibly challenging for both of you. And God bless you for the courage to fight through it. And that helped you create one of your programs. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, just in our journey, when I looked in the mirror one day, I didn't realize how much junk I had inside of me. I was the busyness of life, of having 100 employees, of ordering vehicles, of just really, we had no social life because when my wife made a decision to have a double mastectomy, you're not going out anywhere for a long time, right? Because she just said there's 6 months of recovery. So during that season, I really looked inside and I slowed life down. Well, I didn't slow life down. Life slowed us down. And I looked in the mirror, man, and I didn't like who I saw. And I had to really go deep within myself and really heal a lot of things I had been through. But I didn't realize that because of the healing that was happening inside of me, because of the forgiveness that I was giving to myself and releasing the guilt, the stress, the regret, the shame, this new version of me came out that was stronger, that was better. And then God gave me a crazy idea to go become a motivational speaker. And everybody just laughed at me at that one, MJ. They were like, ha ha, you know how many Mexican motivational speakers there are? I said, I'll tell you what, greater is the power behind me than any task in front of me. And now I'm laughing all the way to the bank. Since then, I spoke on stage live with John Maxwell, Les Brown, Tom Bilyeu, billionaire Alex Stern. And I say that not to impress you, but to let you know that when you follow your dream and you don't care what anybody says, MJ, man, God opens up opportunities for you. And because of that, our business exploded during 2020 when COVID started. We lost $50,000 in paid speaking engagement, but that's when the makings of a millionaire mind was born. Because in spite of the COVID situation around the world, it didn't hinder me from taking action. And the makings of a millionaire mind is all about taking action and then the person you become on the journey, because you have to grow to bet even bigger on yourself, MJ. And that's one thing that I did on myself. And now that the brand is here, 3 years later, right, and it started in 2019, but really now it's here. We're living it. We're breathing it. We're having our book that's selling 3-4 books a day on Amazon. Our courses, we're selling courses every single day. And the beauty thing is now it's a live event, the makings of a Millionaire Mind Bootcamp. We're having it November 18th and 19th. But I tell you all this because it started with an idea, MJ. And how many of us get an idea and we ignore it and it just dissipates off into the wind and it never becomes anything because we lack to act.
You know, so many people like that who said, yeah, that would be a great idea. And then they lack either the courage, the confidence, or they think the resources how can a program like yours change what they've been doing, and how can it fill that gap of lack and give them the belief and the confidence?
Well, whether it's our book or whether it's our course or the live event, especially, because we really, it comes inside of you. And one thing that I can tell you that's different from ours to so many other programs, right? Because many people, it's ours ain't surface level, MJ. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Our course, our live event, the Makings of a Millionaire Mind Bootcamp, is not surface level. You got to go deeper and deal with those issues. And as you go deeper, and as you heal the heart, you heal the soul, you open up your heart. When you open up the heart, it opens up the mind, the intellect, to really transform and change a perspective. Because really, when you do that, it unlocks your belief system to believe that it's possible for you. And when you believe it's possible for you, that's where the miracle changes, because it's a journey of becoming. Through our course, through our live events, our boot camps, you're becoming this person that you never knew you were, and is being revealed to you. Because so many people, we know them, MJ. They seem like an overnight success to the world. 2 or 3 years later, they lose all the wealth, whether it's $1 million, 3 million. They lose it. Why? Because they didn't have the character, they didn't have the maturity to handle that type of income and revenue. So what did they do? They self-destructed. And that word that you said earlier, implode. They self-implode. And next thing you know, everything they had, they lose it because they didn't have the capacity to retain it, right? Anybody can go to the top of the mountain, but staying on top of the mountain is a different thing. And by God's grace, MJ, we've been on top of the mountain for many, many years, and we're only getting started.
Fantastic. I think knowing some mountain climbers myself, not only in business, but actually real adventure mountaineers who I've had on the show, it's also, Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it also about looking for the next mountain when you ascend?
Well, yes, because it happened to me. We had more money in the bank than we never had. And you know what happened, MJ? I got lazy. I got complacent. I went to Miami. We were there on a friend's yacht. We were on this yacht, and there were some houses. And I told this one guy, I didn't know who he really was, but I met him there. I said, I'm going to have a house like that one time, sometime soon. And as I pointed out, I meant it. I truly meant it. But then we went back to the hotel room, and I was looking at some pictures that we took, and my cheeks were a little bit chubby, and it hit me, right? I got complacent. So I said, even though I was working out, MJ, if I'm taking shortcuts in my workouts, I'm taking shortcuts somewhere in my business. I just can't see it. So I say that because I had to be real with myself, because I got lazy because the success we've had. And I said, if I want to buy that house, that current version of who I am today can't buy that house in Miami with the yacht to park it there. I can't. So I push myself to say, regardless of the success we've had, there's another level that I need to ascend to. And once again, I had to go deeper. And that's where the magic happens. That's where you really unlock that new level of confidence, that new level of belief in yourself. And you just, the ideas like this come out because now I opened up my creativity. Right? Think about this. When we get complacent at a certain level of success, maybe for you listening to this, watching this, you got stuck at $250,000, $500,000. You're like, I'm good. But imagine what you could do if you unlock the creativity, because when you get complacent, it kills your creativity, MJ.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And of course, understanding your own personal story today is going to resonate with so many other people, because as you say, you were at a place, first of all, where you didn't have the resources. Then you worked really hard and you made it up, and you had your own little pinnacle of success. And then you sat back and started resting on your laurels. When you did that, you basically said no to other opportunity, no to new creative ideas, no to continuing to manifest more abundance in your life. And all that means you failed to give yourself a new, bigger why.
Yes. And there's always think about this. When you stop being selfish, which I had to stop being selfish to a certain extent, and realize that it wasn't just about Daniel Gomez Inspires, it was about helping hundreds of people, right? And I'm not talking about speaking, because when I speak, I truly believe I help hundreds of thousands. But when you help hundreds of people, impact their lives by helping and building an orphanage in Africa, when you donate money to these homeless and needy shelters. I love doing that because you're helping a human being out of a dark place. So when I really took on that perspective that it's not about Daniel, it's about helping the orphans in Africa. It's about helping the widows and really giving from that place of fulfillment. Man, there's nothing better than that. And that's what drives me is, of course, I enjoy the new wealth, the new levels of success because you meet new people and always have bigger aspirations. But a big part of what I do is it's about, I spoke in Denver this past Saturday and man, women were up there crying, men were up there crying and just like, you can't put a price tag on that because you open up the perspective, you open up their spirit, their heart to say, it doesn't matter where I'm at right now. I'm not going to be here in 6 months. I'm not going to be here in a year because of the shift that happens at their core, right? I'm not talking, remember, I don't like that surface level BS stuff. I hate it. I'm talking about going deep in the core and dealing with those deep issues. And it's remarkable when you see the transformations and the impact that you have after speaking on stage to 300 people, 1,000 people, 5,000 people. It's priceless.
I definitely do appreciate that. And I honor you for that, knowing now that events are back and that you're right in the thick of them. And that through your journey during the damdemic, you were able to manifest your programs and now see them three-dimensionally, not only online through your courses and your books, but now you're meeting people face to face. And now you're helping others transform who they think they are into who they wish they were, and then into who they can be and who they are meant to be. That's a huge, as you say, layer, very deep, very tissue deep. So I appreciate and I salute your work that you're doing there. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, we all have something more to give. And when my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, it pushed me to the limits. I remember getting mad at God and cursing God one morning because when your wife has a double mastectomy and you have all these drains coming out on her side, she had 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. It hurts, man. It hurts when you see there ain't a darn thing you can do about it. And then you want to question, why is this happening to me? Why isn't it healing faster? But you know what I love? And I carry this in my heart. And so my wife, she never said, why me, Coach MJ? She said, why not me? And when I would see her wake up and go to these workout routines and push herself to just do a workout at 4 o'clock in the morning, what excuse as a man did I have to not get up and try one more time in business?
There's a big why right there. And it had a lot to do with your character and your integrity.
Yeah. So, man, people see me now, and not that I come across as arrogant, but I have confidence, right? I have God-given confidence. I walk in that. And I don't think by no means am I better than anybody, but I do walk in the authority that God gives me. And I share that with you because people don't see me when I was down. People don't see me when I was crying. People didn't see me when I was kicking the recycle bins. People didn't see me when I was throwing glasses of wine because as you're getting rid of all this junk, it hurts. It sucks. So the makings of a millionaire mind is a journey of becoming who you were created to be, finding out that, right? One thing that I harp on and I teach in the book is this, and in the course is you have to grow your self-image. And as I speak and coach all over the world, I see a lot of business owners and a lot of executives that they have a poor self-image, even though they may even have the title, they have a poor self-image of themselves. And your life will never outgrow the current self-image you have of yourself, MJ. And that's one thing that I talk in depth in the makings of a millionaire mind, because if you want your life to grow, if you want your business to grow, if you want to take your business from $100,000 in revenue to $250,000, your self-image has to grow. We went into this organization, they were losing $1 million in the red, straight up $1 million in the red, losing it. And they were like, well, what happened here? Well, we took that business from $1 million to $2 million in a year and 2 months. In 1 year and 2 months, they said, you're crazy, you can't do it. We did it. Why? Because we grew the self-image as a business.
And when there is belief, then there are possibilities. It's exactly an exact correlation to our belief systems. Tell me, can someone from today at, let's say, 0, do they have an opportunity to grow themselves to become a millionaire? Can you help them and grow their own belief systems so that they could manifest their own wealth for themselves and their family.
For sure, it can be done. I like what you said, right? Where there is belief, there are possibilities. 100%, somebody can come in but they have to be this. They have to want it and they have to be committed, because it's not going to happen from one day to the next. It's not going to happen from 1 month to the next. It's not going to happen from 1 year to the next year. But I can guarantee you this, is that if you follow what we teach you in our course, if you follow what we teach you in our live boot camps, and we go through these exercises, within the process, within 5 years, you're going to have a lot more wealth than you did 5 years before you started. And some even 3 years. It just depends on how intentional you are. Most people ain't as intentional as they need to be. I was very intentional. So that's why during COVID in 2020, we doubled. 2021, we doubled. This year, we've already surpassed double what we did last year. And I don't say that in an arrogant way. I say it because every morning I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever the day may be, and I'm intentional about what I do. And this is where the one thing is, this is one reason why most entrepreneurs and small business owners, they never get the success they deserve and they should be getting, because they don't have sustainable success. They're not they don't sustain it. That momentum, they don't sustain it, right? They start, they stop, they start, they stop. Well, what do I mean? You do something for 6 months, it got you massive success. All that momentum that you work, you can't sustain it because now you got some money in the bank, you got some notoriety, whatever it may be for your business, and you take the foot off the gas because you get comfortable in that, and that momentum to get back there, now you're having to work double again, and it's a lot of work. So the results, instead of them compounding, they kind of fade off to the side, and you got like, man, why does it feel so hard? And I say this because, how can I say this? Like, I understand what it takes. And I can tell you one of the main keys to my success is being intentional and sustaining the success, sustaining the efforts that we put in, month out, for the last going on 5 years here in January, MJ.
It makes so much sense. If you think about it from a physical point of view, I guess I have some friends of mine. You probably know Dr. Bob Choate. He is a master martial artist, 5th degree. He could help someone attain, let's say, a first level black belt, probably within 3 years if they worked really hard at it from zero. But they'd have to be committed. They'd have to go in. They'd have to do so many hours per day, per week of exercise, of flexing, of sports, really working hard. And this is no different. You're basically saying the mind is a muscle. It can be trained to do things, just like the body can be trained to do things. But the only difference is your muscles are not self-sabotaging, but your mind is, because you're stuck with all that baggage that you brought along that you thought you forgot about, but it will creep up and remind you, and then you won't even think you deserve it.
Yeah, well, the one thing that I see, I love the question that you answered, because right, we have the makings of a Millionaire Mind, our live boot camps. We have Sticker Shock Speaking Academy, where we train people how to become a paid professional speaker. And we have in our programs, it's like people say, well, how come, like for instance, with Sticker Shock, people say, well, am I going to become a paid speaker? I'm like, well, you know what? 33% of our speakers knock it out of the park, because we attract that quality of person that want to learn how to get paid to speak. And then you have those 15% that come, and then imposter syndrome sets in and they don't do anything. So I bring this up because it's all on how intentional, how are you going to do the work? We give you everything you need to be a professional speaker. Everything. I mean, we give you a professional speaker reel. We give you optics on stage. We give you video testimonials, everything that you need to get started. And that's why we have a Tony Pollard that comes, and after they leave, from last September to this September, they made over $65,000 in paid honorariums, because they took what we taught them and, man, they ran with it. They believed it for themselves. And then you have a Michelle Hoskins that 2 weeks after she leaves Sticker Shock Speaking Academy, she's getting that $5,000 paid speaking engagement because she applied what we taught her. And then on the other flip side, you have that person that comes in and they feel like an imposter. And people gotta want to do the work. And one thing that I can tell you is, for myself, it's hard. But I tell people, if you're committed, not interested, but if you're committed to becoming a paid speaker, I'm going to take you there. If you're committed to becoming a millionaire, I can get you there. But you have to be committed. Not do what is easy, but do what is necessary day in and day out. This past weekend in Denver, I was a keynote speaker. We took 3 of our speakers with us that were from Sticker Shock, and they got a chance to speak in front of 300 people. They're committed. They invested the time, the resources, the finances, and they're going to, before you know it, by next year, they're going to be doing their own keynoting. I see it already for them.
That's awesome. And I think our listeners throughout our podcast and those who watch on our YouTube channel, the Mission Impossible TV show, will be able to take some, definitely some golden nuggets away from this. As a parting shot, Daniel, what could you give our audience to think about until they maybe circle back? We'll put the links on how to get in touch with you. What could they think about to just get through the rest of this year and make a good shift, a quantum shift for themselves?
I want you to think about just the way your show is, right? It's possible for you. It boils down to this. I always end my videos like this, is right? I'm Daniel Gomez Inspires. If no one's ever told you they believe in you, I'm telling you right now, I believe it. You have to believe it for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. It's easy to believe it for somebody else. It's easy to believe it for MJ. It's easy to believe it for Daniel Gomez Inspired, but it's time you look in the mirror and you believe it for you. So I want you to start doing this. This is a mind hack, right? Subconsciously, you got to affirm what you tell yourself. What do I mean by that? So when you say it's possible for me, then I want you to add these 2 little words. It's going to change your whole way of how you look at affirmations. Yes. Yes. Because when you say yes, yes, MJ, you're affirming and you're fortifying the truth that it's possible for you. And your mind starts to believe it because it says, yes, yes, I can do it. It's not rocket science. If you think about the little engine that could, what did he tell himself? I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Before you know it, he was doing it. So when you say I am a millionaire, yes, yes, you're putting that, engraving that message into your subconscious mind even more, that it's possible for you. And of course, go to our website, the makings of a millionairemind.com. You see right here, the makings of a millionairemind.com, and get our course, register for our bootcamp. It's gonna change your life, because yes, yes, it's possible for your audience, MJ.
Daniel Gomez, the making of the Millionaire Mind. And I'm telling you right now, I'm excited. Daniel, thank you so much. Yes, I am possible. He says that to everyone. Give it a try. Thank you, and see you on the next episode of Mission I'm Possible.